Coach Faris, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me, sir.
You're welcome, man. How's your day?
Great day. I did a little seminar with the boys, so yeah, it was fun. Yeah, nice. I was quite surprised. Big show out.
Yeah, it was
I think we got more numbers than Dima, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Miles more.
Yeah,
mate.
probably like 3 times the amount, I think.
Fair coaching, I guess.
That's it. Must be, mate. It's that personality, huh? It's that sense of humour. But yeah, it's good, man. What do you think of the studio?
This is beautiful, man. Definitely better than the Charles Owen studio for sure. Yeah, because they're just doing a little dingy gym apparently. So yeah, well, this is a step up from that.
Yeah, mate. It's not quite Trend City, but it's a nice studio.
No weights in here, but yes, we got the equipment, so that's what matters.
Yeah, man, sick. But for the uneducated audience out there watching, but you're obviously black belt, NoGi world champion. You're the Euros, what you call it, European CJI 2 coach. So let's start there, mate. How did you get that gig?
I think it was just, I kind of annoyed my way into success, actually. Yeah. I think I was just like causing some kind of, trolling, not trolling, but, I was doing well in the competition scene, doing well in NoGi. Obviously, NoGi's a new venture for me, right? I haven't been training so much NoGi. I was mostly a gi guy and did pretty well. Won a couple competitions. Managed to get 4th in the trials, and I went to like a couple ADCC opens like abroad, won those, fought some good guys. Then I went to the Worlds and I got silver essentially, and then obviously my opponent busted for some substance. Apparently his doctor prescribed him, so then I got the gold, so I'll take that. But like I said in the post, like, obviously it's a good way. It's good to have the achievement, but I would like to stand on top of the podium myself and have that feeling, It's kind of the Jordan Borers effect. He spoke about that. You don't have the same kind of enjoyment of winning that championship. But, it's good for marketing purposes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I hear the Brazilians aren't overly fond of you, mate. Why is that?
The Brazilians like me, I think. The real Brazilians like me. They like Faradinho, but the ones who are a bit more insecure about themselves, they don't like what I stand for. But yeah, I think I get along with the Brazilian crowd. A couple of them. I was actually going to go to Brazilian Nationals. That was a plan. It was going to be the end of the month, but then, stuff happened and I can't make it. But I wanted to go there and just be there like gringo. NoGi gringo just taking over. It would have been sick. But maybe next year we can try and organize that trip.
Yeah, mate, that'd be sick. And I saw you wearing an interesting top at a Polaris event a little while ago as well.
That top, mate. You know how many people wanted to buy that top?
Yeah, I feel like
I should have just sold that top. We would have got more souls than the Polaris tickets itself, probably. I just, I just thought, what way I could get at these guys that they can't really get at me for, but it's going to be funny as hell and it can go potentially viral. And I did it all on the same day.
Did you?
Like, yeah, I was just rushing around. I was like, asking people like, where can I make a t-shirt? Like, and they're like, why do you want to make a t-shirt? I said, don't worry. Like, I'm going to make this t-shirt. You'll see when I do it. And I was running around London, finding the place. I found a place. Guy did it on the same day because most of the time you have to, they take time to do it. You have to spend time. Like, they want a couple of days notice or some crap like that, right? This guy, he was on job. He just wanted to do, he just wanted the money. And I'm happy to give it as long as you do the job, right? So I got it. I gave him the design and he just like put the strip through it with like cross over the Polaris logo, and then I did Polaris Sucks. My friend, I won't say any names, right? But he was sitting on the front row. And I sat next to him and I was like, let me sit next to you. And obviously it was right in front of the camera view. And this was during the intervention, when the main event kind of sets in. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, why do you want to see it? I was like, pulled up my jumper. I was like, and he was like, oh my God, that's crazy. And then obviously all the guys were laughing, right? And this is actually like, what's funny is like, the lineup is Roger's clothing line, right? So it's like Gentle Art Apparel, it's called. Don't go buy that, by the way, guys. No, I'm joking. No. But basically, right, what happened is I went to the front with those guys, right? And then as like Helena's got a big following. I didn't even realize, a lot of people tuned in to her fight. So a lot of people want to see her fight, right? I go and I like have the top off, took the jumper off, and I'm there and she's walking out and I'm just there like, yeah. And obviously you just see it on the big screen and obviously you can see the big screen there and I could just see myself there and I'm just kind of getting an angle where you can see it. And obviously people at home were like, oh my God, what the hell is going on? Like tagging me and stuff. This guy's crazy. And it was pretty sick. And then obviously they got a bit upset and they were like, oh, no, you can't do this. You can't do this. And I did it again. And then their friend kicked me out. And yeah, the employees actually at Polaris found it funny, I think. Maybe even the owners might have found it funny. But then some of the guys probably didn't find it funny. So then they took it a bit personally.
So why did you do it in the first place? What did they do to you?
They just like, I said this on Charles's podcast. They just kind of done me a bit dirty with payment and stuff.
Oh, really?
Like they pay me like honestly, they paid me so badly, right, to fight obviously Pavel, right? Pavel's very good. He's dangerous to a lot of people. I wasn't worried that I was gonna get hurt because I got this. I have this kind of blessed skill. It's like when I get sweaty, I can just pull myself out of leg entanglements. So I'm like unleg lockable. It's a thing of beauty, right? It also prevents me from doing leg locks. So that's the problem, right? It's kind of like a double-edged sword. But I knew he wasn't going to leg lock because I train with good leg lockers and more times than not, they don't really leg lock me, especially when the round goes on. And, obviously the risk to reward, like, if I'm making, I don't want to say on air, right? But I'll tell you
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll bleep it.
You will?
Yeah, we'll bleep it.
Yeah, so like they pay me. Yeah.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. You can put that reaction in it. Yeah.
Shit.
And imagine like,
we paid more for train tickets, mate.
bro, that's what I'm saying, man. Look at
Do you
me.
know what I mean?
I'm moving
I'm
up
taking
in the world. So they paid that amount, right? And I negotiated, but then I was away with PJ and Owen Jones, PJ Barch and Owen Jones. And at the time, that's when they offered it to me. And I was like trying to negotiate. I was like, what the hell, man? Like, why am I going to do this? I was saying to those guys, I was like, what should I even do this? Wasting my time. Like, I make more money on the weekend, doing privates. So they're like, oh, but you should do it, man. Because if not, you're never going to have another opportunity. Because I was one of the up-and-comers in the UK. I was equivalent to Owen Jones. Maybe I would even say I was better than Owen Jones, right? It was at a time that Jiu-Jitsu was harder. We had all the big guys in the division, Tyner and Jansen, Andy Murasaki. And basically, they never ever called me once to come and fight on their show. So a lot of it's kind of favoritism towards their sponsored athletes. So this was a big thing for me, and this is kind of why I went against the rebellion. So when they got me on the show and they paid me that amount, it's almost like a slap in the face. Like I've been doing jiu-jitsu for X amount of years. I'm risking my career essentially. Obviously, I'm confident that nothing's going to happen, but there's still the possibility. Like either one of us could get injured, right? And I'm sure they're paying him more, right? They're probably paying for even if they're paying for his flights, hotel, and paying him to fight, right? So they could have just gave me a little bit more. I would have probably been quiet and not done anything. So I think they just done me dirty in that sense. They didn't support like the home talent, one, and they paid like very badly. But it's like is what it is. So I know the game. So that's why we went against them. But I'll be happy to come back on your show, guys, if you want to get me for a small price of £5,000.
All right, but yeah, I saw that. I was one of those tuning in, seeing you in the crowd, mate. So I wanted to ask. But obviously another promotion looking to change the attitude of other promotions came in with offering fighters big pay. Obviously Craig Jones Invitational. And obviously circling back to you getting the gig as coach. So we now know why you were selected, but tell us about that process, like the interactions you had with Craig and Seth and whoever it was behind the scenes, like getting you on board and what that, I guess what your initial reaction was, because I guess one option was you maybe being in the team. So talk us through that.
Yeah, so Craig and Seth contacted me. Essentially, Seth wanted me to pitch why I should be on the team, and I think I was between two other people, like Joe from Los Banditos and I believe Fionn, right? But Joe, fair enough, right? But Fionn, I don't know about that. I wouldn't say she's a a coach. I'm not a coach either, but I just feel like maybe for content purposes, like it made more sense because when I pitched some of the ideas I had for them, I think they loved it. And I think that's what probably swayed them away because, you know, I don't think Joe's the kind of guy that would get controversial on people. And I'm sure Fionn probably wouldn't. She'll just probably be out there talking about female pay and all that stuff. Like, she's good at that. So that's kind of what she would stay talking on. And she's gone to the UFC now. So I'm guessing she's not going to have an association with CJI.
Anyone else.
Yeah, exactly, basically. So, yeah, so I think just the aspect of pitching the ideas, giving them some good things, some controversial stuff, right, that will bring eyes to the show, maybe get some hate on me. You know, obviously, I'm not a bad guy. If I put on a persona, it's just to kind of get people talking. And, you know, that's kind of like we started, the whole content thing started with the trials, right? And we kind of got that, or I got that from the reaction of what people believe the trials was like. You know, you have people that love it, you have people that hate it. There's not like an in-between with, you know, people kind of, it's all right. You know, it's just like either they're like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. I love this shit. Or it's like, this is horrible. What are people doing? This is not what jiu-jitsu is about. Like the purists were against it, but the higher test male was very for it. Like I had a woman, she was like, she came down to Los Banditos. Yeah. She came down to Los Banditos. She messaged me prior. She said, oh, can I get a ticket? And I think that was like, you know, 1 or 2 tickets left, right? So I just sent her the link for the ticket, and she didn't come. And then she came to the train. I said, oh, why didn't you come? And she was like, I just looked a bit too much like high testosterone in the room. And I was like, but you wouldn't have known that if you didn't come. Yeah. But everyone loved him. Everyone. Like,
yeah, it looked fun. It looked incredible.
We had showgirls there that never watched jiu-jitsu in their life. And they loved it. What
did they think of it? They must have thought, what is going on here?
Yeah. They loved it. They thought it was the best thing ever. And they don't train jiu-jitsu. They don't watch jiu-jitsu. And we had a DJ, same thing, right? She was like a female DJ. Same thing she liked as well. She thought it was super interesting. So yeah, like I think that's kind of what I wanted to do. I want to make people watch jiu-jitsu that never watch it and can enjoy it for what it is, like the spectacle of it. It was almost like a school fight. That's kind of what it was. It was. Yeah, I had so much fun, man. It was great.
How long did you have to put together the event from, I guess, sort of setting the date and everything else to actually running the event?
Mate, I would say like a month or less.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
maybe not even a month. Yeah. Like trying to gather the athletes who would want to compete, to like organizing the space, the things that are going to go into the event, what kind of things to get. Like, you know, obviously Craig probably wasn't too big of a fan of the showgirls based on what's going on at the B team. But I said, don't worry about that, man. Just put that on me. It's like, you know, it's okay. You know, he's like stressing about, I don't want to be involved with that. Like,
was he actually?
Yeah.
Was he
like,
actually?
Chill out, man. It's like, it's their job. Like, you know, so yeah, I think he was a bit on edge about that. Like, he didn't want no association to that. So he stayed up on the balcony instead of walking out with them.
So was there any kind of like guidance or expectations from like Craig and Seth and the organizers to what they wanted to like see from the trials?
What do you mean?
Well, like, obviously we'd seen the Aussie trials, which was quite well put together and quite well run. It was fucking long, but
did you watch the whole 7 hours?
I recorded it and fast forwarded a lot.
Yeah.
So I pretty much just watched like Declan's
just
matches
Declan,
and the ending kit, and that was it.
Yeah, he's a big cunt. He's a strong, he's a cool cunt, actually.
Yeah, he is.
I love Declan.
He's
being there, mate, I wouldn't have enjoyed being there for sure.
Mate, it was like, this is the thing, and people get like a bit funny when I say it, but it wasn't entertaining. That's nothing going against Lachlan. It kind of matches his personality, a bit more of a kind of mellow, you know, it's like a library.
But this is the problem with jiu-jitsu, though.
Well, people ain't going to watch that.
It's not, no one's going to watch it. If it's like, we don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
So no one else is going to watch it. Do you know what I mean?
Man,
like, and that's the problem.
It was so boring, man. And the thing is, like, I didn't want to emulate that. And I think coming into this, like, you know, obviously I was bouncing ideas off of Craig. And Craig mentioned something I always wanted to do, because when we were at Los Banditos, we just do this anyway. We'll start cheering for some random guy that's fighting Christian Osbeck on the mat and be like, fucking go on, kill him. As soon as he does like one little thing, pick up the guy, start chucking him up in the air. And with this, I think me and Craig were bouncing some ideas. He mentioned some sort of Dan Hooker video. I've never watched it, right? But basically Dan Hooker would come in with like 10K into this MMA gym. He's like, you guys are going to fight for 10K, and then get 2 of the fighters to just slug out in the cage or something like that. So he's like, I kind of want it to be like that, where it's a bit like crazy and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, cool. Like, you know, and I pretty much went with that vibe. It was just more of an entertainment thing, you know, people going on the couch and stuff, because I didn't want to stop the action, right? So instead of investing in the pits, the people were the pits. Right? All the money went into the showgirls. So, you know, we're not going to buy a pit that's going to be used for one time, right? So this was the best thing that could happen. And, you know, no one got hurt, thankfully. None of the athletes got hurt. And none of the spectators got hurt. And the spectators, they loved it. Like, they were just like, you know, some of them pushed in the back. And I was like, if they go into you, push them back in the ring. Do you know what I mean? Like, because a lot of people will back off. This happens a lot in competition, especially IBJJF. There's like, in wrestling, you get penalized for going out of the circle.
Yeah.
Whereas in jiu-jitsu, it's like, there's not really a penalty for backing out. And a lot of takedowns you have to have some sort of resistance to hit some of the takedowns. So it's like, this is kind of like why I did it, because people play on the edge when they're tired, and they will just stop and then they'll go back to the middle, have a little breather, and then go back for it. Yeah, I'm guilty of this. I love this move, right? So I thought, how do we eliminate this? You just keep going, right? Until we like
no stopping.
Yeah, like Marcin took down Tom Brazier like on the edge of the mat.
It cracked me up when they all went on the couches, Linus and that like thing, and you see Ben Bennett running behind him. I don't even see what he's looking for.
We need a bigger couch, mate. But the thing that was worrying and that was dangerous, that I would admit, was when they were on the couches,
fucking
right? There's freaking co-hooks there. So that's when you see when like Ben Bennett and Tommy were going at each other, I got involved, not with that situation, but I was more involved with the freaking them going up against the co-hooks and like, you know, getting jammed up like that. So, and then obviously they had their little interaction. Obviously Ben was having a go at Tommy because one of Ben's guys, he like messed his knee up. And the guys basically went into the couch where he was at, which is on the edge of the mat. And he was like having a go at the Mazan guy and Linus, like pushing them. And obviously Tommy's like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing that? Because obviously it's his student. And he's like, oh, watch out, he's injured. And then obviously they were like kind of like pushing them back and forth. And like Tommy was just like, you know, the stoic Viking who could kill at any moment, right? And then you got the Bradford brute. Like, you know, it's like, oh shit. I was like, it's all right, man. And then I was like to Ben, like, I said, Ben, what do you expect? Like, you know, if your guy's going to be in the war zone, he's going to expect to get shot. Do you know what I mean? You can't just be out in the war, like recording the guys getting on top of you and be like, yeah. Right. And then I had to put him up like in the balcony so like no one would run him over.
Yeah.
So then he would lose his other leg. You know? It was messed up, man.
Yeah, I think that was probably the main criticism that I saw from people that didn't enjoy the look of the event, was just people going off the mats and the risk of injuries and that sort of thing.
The nerds and virgins. As Kobe Covington would say. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with being a virgin, by the way, guys. I just want to reiterate that.
There is.
No, there isn't. Guys. I was for a very long time. No, I'm joking.
There is when you're a child, but not as an adult. Yeah. It's frowned upon.
Get married first, man. Saves the stress of it all.
But I think back to the event, is did it all kind of go as you wanted, or was there anything you do different looking back now?
Nah, I think I'll do everything the exact same.
Yeah,
maybe
nice.
just more showgirls.
Yeah, nice.
Maybe the thing that I would do different, right, is I would need more time to get organized. But I feel like I kind of hit lightning in the bowl. It just all kind of came to fruition.
Yeah.
It worked like the video doesn't give it justice.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was such a good day. It was so fun. Like everyone had an amazing time. And I'm not just saying that because obviously it's an event that I organized. I couldn't enjoy the event fully because I'm running around, going back and forth, but I had great people around me, like helping me. Like I had obviously Owen Jones, I had like my friend Ryan, who does all the content for Los Banditos and Lil Benji, and you know Joe gave the space up for us. So it was great to have these people because it kind of just worked out being smooth. You know what I mean? Like they're bringing the athletes out, and the showgirls, the entertainment company was like Divinity Entertainment. One of the guys from the gym, his missus owns the company, and she got a bunch of the girls and kind of hooked us up and kind of gave us some ideas to go with, and it just kind of came together really naturally. I think it was like in a way a bit of luck, and yeah, it was just like I said, we just got lightning in the bowl, man, and just worked out. And like luckily, no one got hurt, which is the main thing. The most important thing for me is, are the athletes happy? Are the spectators happy? And is Craig and Seth happy? And I think, you know, Craig and Seth were happy. They said they're happy. Obviously, I hope they're telling the truth. Right? You know, they could just be like, that was fucking shit. And, you know, the athletes all loved it, right? Because that's what we do it for. Like, for me, I love the energy. I love, like, scrapping. And then that was one of the things I really enjoyed about ADCC trials when I did it. It was like people just cheering, screaming. You go off the mat, you take the guy down the freaking wood, you just jump on his back, and like most of the people are watching you fight. Whereas when you're at an IBJJF, you know, competition or worlds, unless you're in the finals, there's like another 12 mats there. So it's, you know, you get lost in the crowd unless you dye your hair pink or something so people can see that's you. So I think like the athletes were happy because everyone was cheering, going crazy. And yeah, the spectators were super happy as well because it's like someone was like, we could rub shoulders with people that we kind of view as famous who we wouldn't probably have the chance to get that close with. And that's kind of like what jiu-jitsu is. You're not going to be able to kind of go up to Cristiano Ronaldo, right? But you can easily go and see Craig Jones. Like, it's like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we talk about the accessibility of athletes in jiu-jitsu all the time.
And I think it gets a bit taken for granted.
Yeah. I think so. And this is like, maybe we won't get into it, but maybe worry with UFC as well, that as it get more exclusive, you kind of lose that accessibility.
Yeah. I guess, you know, yeah. But the thing is, you can always go train at the people's gym. Like, I can't go and pull up to a Real Madrid training session. No. As much as I'd love to.
Yeah, man. Yeah, true. And the actual divisions themselves, so like shenanigans aside, the actual like matches. So what did we have? We had 77, 88 and over 99, right? So give us a summary of like each division or each bracket, and obviously, you know, kind of your thoughts on the matches and how they went.
Yeah, so we essentially was going to do a 77 because we were going to get Mateusz Szczynski. He'd probably be like the perfect guy for the rule set. He's dangerous. He could be one of those guys that could take out a whole team. You know, people will stand across him and be a bit scared that he's going to get his break their ankles, right? It's like, you know, justifiably, he's a dog.
Fucking shotgun armbar.
Yeah, even that, mate. You see, it's like, so he's got weapons that can just tap anyone out, or at least, you know, make him a bit afraid to engage, to where he could take out big name guys like in teams. So he got injured, unfortunately. So we done the, you know, minus 77 division. Pavel and Taylor were in that division originally, and I thought, okay, let's move them there because it would be better for one of those guys to be there. And we had Tarek Hopstock and I think Tom Barry, right? Obviously, not many people know Tom, but you know, Tom's good.
Yeah, he looked good.
Yeah,
he's really good. Yeah,
he looked good. Yeah, he was sick. He's a bit of like, you know, not a local guy, but he's up Bristol, I think now. And yeah, he did a sick showing, man. You know, and he's always up there with the best guys. He's full top guys like Tommy Lanka and Trials, got like fourth a bunch of times. So he's no slouch, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, just because you don't have like someone who's super famous, like people don't know. They just want the kind of the it guys, right?
But those people still deserve their place if they deserve it. You know what I mean? Like they still deserve it if they earn it. I mean,
I'm one of those jiu-jitsu maxis. I'm also like a fan of jiu-jitsu, and I follow people and I know who's good and who's not good. Do you know what I mean? Like there's certain guys who've got hype and they're not that good. Whereas there's certain guys that don't have so much hype and they're very good, you know? So I feel like that's another thing with promoters and stuff. I don't think they're big fans of it because they don't pick the guys who are kind of up there. And there's a lot of guys like that. But, you know, because Tara got injured also, we had to replace him. So I put Yigit there, and he's like, trials medalist. I think he got bronze and a silver. He's a bit smaller for the division, but he's a top guy, right? So I feel like it would have been good to have him there just because of his credentials, and he obviously traveled all the way from Turkey, so he showed that he wanted to be involved. And for his chance to go to CJI, like, who wouldn't take that? You fight ADCC trials for free. Why wouldn't you fight CJI trials for some money and the 10K on top of that to go to CJI, right? But unfortunately, like, we moved Taylor. I think we moved Taylor up because Eoghan O'Flanagan didn't want to do the trials, right? So he obviously wanted to get paid. Fair enough. But yeah, we tried to get him in. But the guy's, he's a money fiend. He's a cash addict.
So what, you offered him some decent money, did you?
Like I offered him like incentive, because obviously Los Banditos is his gym.
Mm.
I said, look, I'll give you a percentage of the ticket sales. And I tried to give him that avenue in getting him in. And I was trying to get some sort of sponsors that could do a sub of the night bonus. And he's one of the guys that are likely can sub someone. So he would have made money that way. But I think he wanted a guaranteed purse.
Mm.
I have Mohammed in the division, right? And I heard Eoghan was saying, this is great, right? You're going to love this. So they're lucky that I didn't know Ellis Younger and Tom Barry were going to fight, because I would have put them first round in the trials, right? Just to kind of kill the show a bit. But Mohammed and Eoghan are fighting. If Eoghan did it, I would have probably put Eoghan with Mohammed first, because obviously he's fighting on the show. Yeah. So it's like, oh, we already seen this one. We don't want to watch this. So, but he didn't want to do it. So fair enough. I'm sure he's doing pretty well money-wise. A couple K doesn't really matter to him.
A lot of people were saying though, like, he should have just got a spot. Like, why didn't he?
Well, I don't know, man. I feel like for me, he's not undeniable, and I feel like everything was set for him to win there. Like, it would have, I would have taken an opportunity. I think Owen Jones would have taken an opportunity. I think that he was kind of a bit upset with that Owen got onto the team straight away. But the reason he got onto the team was because he gave up his spot to go to B team, right? He kind of amended things with their group because, it was going to be a similar thing where they would have to do super fights there, and it was going to be him versus Ethan, and then, Ethan wasn't very happy with it, apparently. And kind of to save the relationship of those guys back there for Craig, Owen took a step down.
Back and then went to the Euro squad. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So, it's justifiably so. But then Owen probably still would have fought for a spot if I said, look, you got to fight Ash or Yigi or someone.
Mm.
He would have done it. But the thing is with Owen, he's got relevancy bias. He's beat Ash at the trials, right? In a good way. He beat Gerbeg, who was also the other trials winner. The only guy he hasn't fought is Yigi. And I believe, obviously I'm biased, right? But I think that Owen will beat Yigi as well. So it doesn't make sense because he beat all the top guys. Whereas
and
Owen,
he's getting better.
Owen hasn't fought Taylor. Owen hasn't fought Santuri. Owen hasn't fought Powell. Do you see what I'm saying in the competition? And this was the original setup. But them guys, they didn't want to fight each other. They were they had the power friendship going in the group chat, talking with one another. Oh, we don't want to do it. We don't want to fight against one of our friends. Fair enough, right? But Craig and myself, we wanted the content. So this is kind of what had to run. And if you don't want to do it, fair enough. But I'm not going to bend the knee just because you don't want to do it. And that you are good. Owen's amazing, bro. He's one of the best guys and one of the most knowledgeable guys. But I just wanted him to kind of put himself out there to do it. And, obviously he can want what he wants. But I feel like, he should have just done it. Because he I think probably maybe might not say it, but looking back, I feel like he probably might regret it a little bit because he knows he would have had a very, very good chance to win it.
Yeah, he's good, isn't he?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's
he probably would have, he would have won it. I believe he would have won it. Do you know what I mean?
It's a shame though, isn't it? Because effectively, we haven't got the best guy. From a European fan point of view.
A European fan, yeah. Because obviously Tommy's injured as well. Yeah. Owens didn't want to do it. But it's just if someone gets injured, Owen in, mate. So he's probably crossing the fingers. But Yeah, so, but Taylor or Paul was still good, guys.
Taylor's great.
Taylor's sick.
I don't know too much about Paul, but he looked good.
Paul's very good as well. And the thing is with Paul, right? A thing about a lot of people don't know him, so it's like, oh, we don't know.
Brandon Reed called it, didn't he? When we was out for food with him, he was like, he is very good.
Yeah.
He was like, he'll surprise you.
Bro, Paul is like, imagine this: American trials, knowing how competitive American Jiu-Jitsu is, and every time he steps on those trials mats, he pulls out the bag and wins. And he's beat some of those big guys. He's beat Michael Pixley. He's beat tapped these guys: Michael Pixley, El Monstro. Beat guys like, I think he might have beat Devontae as well. He's good, man. Like, you just don't know about him because he's making tons of money. He doesn't have to do promotion for jiu-jitsu. He's got a successful law firm,
That's madness,
crazy,
just
crazy.
like, just the ultimate hobbyist, Yeah, the one thing with Paul though, like, him and Taylor were going at it. Like, he was basically calling Taylor out, saying like, oh, if you come to Atlanta, we could do a bet match. $2,500 each, sub only, no rules. Obviously, because Taylor was a bit upset how things ended, and then obviously Taylor was like, "Oh, that sounds awful," which does. No, I would not want to do a sub only match. That's like my worst fear, right? Dude, give me a little 10 minutes points. I'm happy to do it sub only for unlimited time. Nah, no, thank you. But then Paul was like making a bunch of content, like goading Taylor and stuff like that. And I'm just like, bro. You both as boring as each other, man. Like, it was a barn burner, man. It was like, we had so much fun watching your match. But yeah, it was, they're both good guys, isn't it? Paul obviously won under the circumstance. So, but he's just as good as like an Owen, I would say. He's the thing is, I find value in someone who can't get submitted. So that's a big thing going into this kind of quintet format. If you get submitted, one, you're out and the other guy stays in. So it's kind of, we have to win by the margins and the numbers. So if we can get a bunch of guys that can't get submitted and can take out their top guys, it doesn't matter if you get dominated. If you're not getting submitted,
They're both out.
Do you know what I mean? We just need one sub. So it's like,
yeah, with bringing Paul in, because it feels like 88's a pretty stacked like division for Euro. Obviously, you got Santieri, you got Owen and Taylor. I know you mentioned that they've obviously got the power, friendship, and they didn't want to compete. Is that why you brought in the wild card for, like, from the outside looking in, what feels like probably the strongest weight bracket?
Yeah, I heard Greg wanted him, so I just poached him up.
Nice.
Greg's fingers in it.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Can't let Greg have that, man.
He's gonna put you on blast, bro.
Huh?
He's gonna put you on blast now.
Bro, he can say whatever he wants, man. Yappa.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. Well, the thing is, so I have a friend, and I think he's out in Atlanta, and he's very close with Paul. So apparently, like, he brought Paul out, and Paul just, he's a dog. Like, he's like, dead position on Friday, gets the red eye, comes Saturday, scraps it out at the trials, right? So, bro, you got to commend the guy. Like, the guy came from America. Like, I don't know if you guys are trained jet lagged. You just get.
We did when we went out there for a couple of days.
It's like, you're like, 60% of the man you are, maybe even 50. So, like, I gotta give the props up, man. The guy came all the way from the States, took on the challenge, and showed out. So it's like a good thing for him. I feel like, yeah, he did his thing. So
Yeah.
I feel like that's why I want someone who's like a dog who wants to fight for the spot, who's gonna be out there and go for the kill, like lay it on the line. Like, I know Charles Negromonte, maybe not a lot of people know him. He's pretty much indestructible. Like, I've never tapped him out, bro, in the 10 years I've been training with him. And he won't tap the shit. Like, if there's videos of him, like Taylor having full like heel hooks on him, he's just like, he's not tapping. He's just like,
No way.
So, and he hasn't been tapped for ages. Paul hasn't been tapped for ages. Pavel, be pretty hard to tap him because, he's got crazy good guard.
Yeah, his guard is ridiculous, actually.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
There was obviously barely any subs, so you can look at it one or two ways, but it sounds like that's probably a positive and a reflection of how defensively sound the guys are from submissions.
I think people forget, right? Like, they talk about the Giles trials and say, there was all these subs that were happening. And it's like, yeah, you got a bunch of cans there as well. You know, it's not like you got 16 Declans or 8 Declans fighting one another.
Yeah.
It's like the best guys weren't getting tapped. You know, like obviously Declan didn't get tapped. Kaya didn't get tapped. Did Kit got tapped, right?
By Declan.
And he had to do all those matches before.
Exactly. Like this is one thing. Yeah, they were like, oh, this is unfair. They have to do 2 matches to get a place on the team, this, that. And I was like, well, freaking Kit had to do a whole 16-man bracket and then do a round robin with all the other guys. It's like,
and he's
so that's
retired
fair,
and
right?
he's 38.
Yeah, and I'm not going to
lie.
lie, arguably, bro, he should be on the team
I think
ahead of Bilal, right? No shots at Bilal, right? But I just feel like, bro, man, you got put through the gauntlet, essentially. And it's like, you know, at least give him a freaking purse, like a win bonus. Come on, Lachlan. Give the guy some money, man. Like, you know. But, yeah, like, going back to what you're saying is there wasn't a lot of subs and a lot of people online were basically goading at that. Oh, it wasn't much subs. These are like some of the best guys in Europe. I don't know if you've ever rolled with good guys in your life, right? But just because you're getting tapped out 10 times in the gym, it doesn't mean anything, right? You're not going to tap a good guy out 10 times. It's like, unless you're like a world beer, like you're a Szynski or something. And, you know, these guys are the best guys. It's going to be hard to tap one another out, especially in 8 minutes. You know, unless you like just make a mistake, you fall asleep, you get tapped out. But it's a net positive for me. Like, if people ain't getting tapped out, that's good. If you're getting tapped out, then it's a bad thing. I'm not going to want you on the team. So the fact that no one really got tapped out, like, I think it was a good thing. And as long as the matches are entertaining, it's fine, you know?
Yeah.
I would value, like, you know, a lot of people like to see, you know, for this rule set, obviously, a quick flash submission is great. But in my opinion, pure domination in jiu-jitsu is like progressing through the positions. Like, you sweep the guy, you pass the guy, you mount him, and then you finish him. Or you pass, back, finish. That's domination in my eyes. Like, if I just, like, you know, catch a leg lock, you know, like, there's always that chance the guy could be like, I just got caught sleeping, you know. Whereas if you get, like, dominated, like, the guy just smashes you, smothers you, like, kind of like what Gordon does to people, then you're like, okay, this guy's undeniably better than me. And there was none of that from any of the guys. So it's like, yeah, no one's better than each other.
Yeah, no, that's good. And then obviously Charles went straight in at under 99. So you just said he's a beast.
Yeah, he's indestructible.
Yeah.
He won't tap.
And was that your decision or was that Craig that wanted him in? I know Craig joked about it because he
was
got
like a
him.
joint decision. Like, you know, I think people think, you know, like Paul being the wild card, right? People assume, oh, like, all these guys, you could have got Rotolos, you could have got Mika, you could have got Victor Hugo, this, that. But it's like half the guys, they don't even want to flip and do the competition when you reach out to them, right? Because they're probably getting paid.
So did you reach out to someone?
I reached out to quite a few of them, yeah. Either like they're not going to reply or they're getting more money from other, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, they don't want to be part of a team event where they have to split the money. And the big teams actually got the pick first. So it's all good saying, yo, you could have got Felipe Pena. You could have got Victor Hugo. But it's like all the big teams got first dibs on that. It's like, you know, so it's easy to say from afar. Like, all the best guys you would think of are either 1, on a team already, or 2, they don't want to do it, or 3, they've already been poached as the wildcard spot. So, yeah, it's like that was a frustrating thing seen online. It's just like, you know, a lot of people feel like they can do a great job, but they've never been in that kind of position or they don't even know what they're talking about. They don't know the situation that's at hand.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And then plus 99, talk us through that sort of decision-making process. So, like you said, there wasn't many of the big guys left from a wildcard perspective. We obviously had some good guys in there from Europe. Mark McQueen for the outside observer feels like an obvious choice to put in there as well.
Yeah.
How come he wasn't
I
in?
mentioned that to you, right?
You told me.
I didn't say it to you, did I?
No.
Yeah, so the original plan was we were going to do a 4-man. So this was the original plan. 4-man bracket. It was going to be Owen, Santiri, Pavel, Taylor. Power Friendship abolished that, right? So then we were going to go with the 8-man bracket. So then I had a bunch of guys in that. right? And I was like, Owen was kind of up for it, and then he kind of had a little bit of a whinge, like, oh, why don't I should be in it? I should be in it, right? Oh, I believe Levi and Kennard are in it. Like, but it's like, Levi got second, Kennard tapped out Victor Hugo, right? And then he didn't want to do that. And then we did obviously Mateus got injured. We did 77. Then we did 88. Tried to ask Owen. Didn't want to do it. Want to get paid. Fair enough. Didn't have the funds. I wish I was rich. I'm not, unfortunately. So, and then we had the 99, right? So the original plan was to do plus 99 plus minus 88. The plus 99, right, we were going to have, the plan was to have Mark McQueen, right? Owen Livesley, Freddie Vosgren, and Heike. Yeah, Heike. So those were the big guys. I don't want a killer. I just want someone who can survive, right? I want someone who's going to stall out Nicky Rod. Similar to what Owen Livesley did to Nicky Rod in the quintet, right? That's what you want. Like, there's not, like, if they get submissions, perfect. But that's not the plan. Originally as well, I was trying to get the Russian guy. His name's like Abdullayev. I fought him in ADCC Kuwait, and he's beat a couple of the good guys out there. Like, he's beat Luke Griffith in Aiga, and he's beat Declan Moody as well. And like, like,
so he's
pass that guy. Yeah, he's pretty solid. Like, do you know what I mean? And I tried to get him, but the Russians, the whole visa problem was an issue. So it's like, that kind of didn't fall through. We also wanted, this is another, like, so we also wanted, there's a guy, I think we could have got him as well because it's like Middle East. It's like a border thing. There's this guy, this Iranian guy from Dubai. His name's like Puyan or something.
Never heard of it.
Bro, he's a tank. Like, he's literally a machine, this guy, right? He beat Kainan Duarte in the combat karate. So in the pit, same thing. He beat Kainan Duarte.
Fair play.
And like, apparently, like, he does, like, he rags the guys, like, when they go to Team NoGi. Like, I heard he beats up, like, obviously, I don't know. This is just hearsay, yeah. I'm not saying it. I've seen it, right? But I heard he, like, was being, like, Felipe Pena, giving him a run for his money and stuff like that. So obviously I wanted him as well. But again, he couldn't go to the States because he's going to get a passport from the UAE. And, he's Iranian. Trump put the ban on those guys.
Yes.
So, we couldn't get him either. So it's like all good. Like, my ideal team would be a lot different, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But under circumstances, things played out how it was. And this is the team, right? And regardless of the team, we're going to make it happen.
Yeah, nice,
whether we cut the Achilles of some of the guys in the back room,
Yeah, man. Do you know, I hadn't even thought about, just the visa issues getting into the States. I hadn't even thought about that. So,
I don't know why they do it in Vegas, man. I don't know why they just do it in, like, Dubai or something. Like, you can get, like, I'm sure Craig can get, like...
Yaz Island, man.
He's got, obviously, he's got a good investor that's helping him with the show, right? Man, doing freaking Dubai. Who doesn't want to... I guess for the American public, it's a bit harder to go to Dubai, right?
Mm.
But then all these guys go to Vegas, and Vegas is, if you've been to the Strip, it's not all that. Like, Dubai is proper. You got everything. You got everything that Vegas has, but just.
Well, a lot nicer.
Yeah, exactly. So, and obviously everyone can go there. Like, the Russians could go there, the Arabs, the Iranians. Like, there's no kind of bans or anything. So it would have been easier. Because even like, I'm sure that Mark McQueen could have came. He could have done it.
So why wasn't he in the
Because he's gonna move, I believe, to the States. So he had some sort of visa thing where he can't leave. I don't know.
Right. Okay.
It's that kind of stuff.
Okay. All right. Cool. And then there's still a question mark over the actual plus 99 because there's online what looks like rumors or speculation about Freddie still competing against Marcin for that spot.
Oh yeah. So yeah, Freddie. Sorry about that. I didn't even explain that. Freddie was supposed to also do it, but he had to have some sort of vein surgery. Like varicose veins.
Okay.
So he had that because, he's going to fight MMA.
Yeah.
So he had to do that. So he was out. But Craig wanted him to kind of, he wanted to use his newly found fame, right? To kind of make a spectacle. Poor Freddie, man. Do you know what I mean? I don't even think he wanted to do it. You know what I mean? Like, he just got
told.
He just got grabbed up into the situation, man. The poor guy, right? And, Marcin's there, like, celebrating. He's so happy he won. And then all of a sudden, Freddie's there, like, I think we got to fight or something. Like, I think we got to fight.
Just big fucking burly beast.
Like, oh, fuck. And then obviously Craig, it's up to Marcin. You know, Craig said he will compensate Marcin for it. So it's just up to Marcin if he wants to do it. Me personally, I'll do it, right? I think a fight with Freddie's bigger.
I don't know, mate.
I don't know. I think it's.
Do you know what? If I was him, I'd say no. I'd be like, I'm taking my spot to CJI.
Yeah,
just for the experience. I think just for the experience.
Yeah, but I feel like think of this, right? It depends on yourself.
Who's better?
I don't know.
Do you know?
Well, I don't.
Do you know?
Look, we'll have to see at the next trials. But basically, you know, I feel like it depends on what kind of character you are. If you're a gambling man like myself, I always bet on myself. So if I was Marcin, I would do it. I'd say, look, I want X amount of money, right? I want it to be kind of a big thing, right? And I'll beat Freddie. He gets all those views for being Freddie, the first, like, you know, jiu-jitsu kind of match, get out there, especially because it's going to be posted to Craig's page, posted to all these different pages. So Marcin's stock essentially is going to go up through the roof. Or you go CJI, potentially fight Kynan first round, get put on a poster, which ain't going to happen. Marcin's going to beat Kynan, right? But I'm just saying, hypothetically, because anything can happen, right? We're sending Owen Jones out to fight Kynan anyway, just out of pure hatred for Owen. So, yeah, because he needs to be humbled a little bit, right? So he could go against the big guys. But let's just say, like, you know, he goes to CJI, you know, maybe doesn't have a big performance, does like a bit of a snooze fest, and he, like, no one knows who he is. Do you know what I'm saying? Or he could go CJI, beating Freddie, have a big profile. A lot of people were like, who's this guy? He's a freaking machine. Yeah, screaming down the camera. Like, I think, personally, I would bet on myself. I would take the fight. Just because you're going to, essentially, you can't just look at the price tag of things, right? You got to look at things that come outside of it. And this is a big thing. Like, maybe you might do a fight for free, but if that exposure gets you, like, a lot of people do the ADCC for free. But why? Because it gives you that massive exposure that you're going to make thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands some people have made just off of it. So
instructional videos.
Instructionals, yeah, like just, all of it, man. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, you do something to get a lot back.
Yeah.
So I would personally do it. You know, just, I don't know if that makes...
It does, man. And that's why I was a little surprised that Owen maybe wouldn't have done the trials because of that sort of bigger picture.
I think in Owen's head, it didn't make sense. Also because he wasn't fighting like maybe a high caliber guy on the same, you know, wavelength as him. Like, I think obviously originally Tommy was supposed to be in the division, but Tommy's also, I think, going through some sort of surgery or some injury thing. So he was out. And I just think maybe Owen thought like, there's not anyone that's like on my level that I should risk it against.
Well, that's what I mean as well. If he lost to someone who wasn't on his level, it's a fucking big risk, isn't it? For free. You know, like you said, it's all on. A lot of jiu-jitsu is on reputation as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So if he took a loss,
it's relevancy. It's relevancy.
It's hard. Yeah, it is a difficult one.
Yeah,
it's more difficult than you really think.
No, I get it. Yeah, that's why I said I don't like fault the guy. Do you know what I mean? I really just for myself.
Mate, just circling back to earlier, why did you do the ADCC overtime rules for Taylor? Like, I was thinking, like, well,
you did him die, bro. You did him die.
I thought Taylor could wrestle, bro. I thought he was going to hit the Colchester slide by, but just didn't pull out the bag, man. I thought he was going to pull out his ass. Imagine just, let me just paint the picture for everyone.
Is this what you was imagining?
This is what I was imagining. I was like, he goes up against Paul Ardilla, right? Paul's tired, breathing heavy, you know, off a flight from Atlanta. And he just stands up, right? He puts the collar on him, Taylor just slide by him, foot sweeps in, whole crowd goes crazy. Yeah, that would have been worth more than anything, bro. We would have just stopped the match there. Yeah, Taylor.
That's it.
Like, you know, just like that. But, you know, obviously, Paul, like, you know, dogged it and managed to take him down. He kind of put him up against the wall.
Yeah.
Smart. And then Taylor couldn't back over and then put him down. So, yeah, the reason why is because, long story short, the match was boring as hell, right? And it's like, you know, you guys are fighting for a spot to be on CJI and no one's risking and going for anything. Both guys, not just one. Originally, you know, I think, you know, some people probably thought Taylor was winning. Some people thought Paul was winning. With Paul, he kind of initiated in the sense they were both double guard seated for like 2-3 minutes, sitting, kind of playing footsie. Paul took the initiative to stand up or to get up and start passing. Taylor at any point could have done that. I think it would have been good for Taylor to do that because Taylor's got good passing.
Yeah, he's really good at passing.
And the thing is, even if maybe Paul comes up on a sweep, Taylor could use that opportunity to get underneath him, right? So Taylor, obviously, I think he stayed in his comfort zone where, you know, he knows, okay, I'm not going to get passed, right? But then he was trying to, like, he wasn't, that's hard to say, right? Because, you know, it's like in the fight, it's two different things. Like maybe Paul's being a bit passive, it's hard for Taylor to get underneath him and vice versa. But I think the fact that Paul came up on top is what swayed it for the judge, all right? And now he tried to flank a couple times and there was nothing really significant on Taylor's end. Like there wasn't any significant, you know, like entanglement or submission. But then Paul didn't really do anything either. So I was just like, you know, they're going to give it to Paul. Let's do an overtime, right? And everyone was like saying overtime.
So Taylor was probably going to lose at that point anyway if you hadn't done the overtime.
Yeah, no, that's what the judge said, right? So he was going to lose regardless. So if anything, I was giving him a lifeline. I was throwing out the rope to him. You know, can't just grab the rope, Taylor, please, right? To give him another 4 minutes to do something significant to at least take the victory. Not trying to say like I'm helping Taylor out, by the way, right? It was boring for both fighters. I just didn't want it to end like that. And then I just thought, you know, in my head, like someone also said ADCC overtime, and I was just like, that sounds pretty good. Because it just changes the dynamic of the fight now. But then it just doesn't go
to Taylor's favor. It from the outside. It's just.
But like, you know, like he's like, you know, I thought he was gonna hit the Colchester slide line, man.
I think listening to Taylor talk about it afterwards, he obviously seemed a little bit salty and he felt like he was being sent out to lose because obviously.
But then he could have taken. This is the whole thing, right? As much as he says that, he could have grasped the opportunity to win, but he didn't. You know, you had a whole 8 minutes to try and win the fight. Yeah, you can't cry about the last 4 minutes either. Yeah, you know. Do
you think like EBI rules might have been a better option?
Yes, it's all good. Like, yeah, I guess so. But it's like
it's done now.
I don't know, man. They're two both ADCC trials champions, right? EBI rules would be also good, but because obviously it's in relation to submission. It's just, you know, like thinking of it.
Split second.
It's like, you know, when you have the 20/20 vision, you can think of all the different outcomes you could have went through. But on that situation, it's like
it's like anything else. It is.
You just go for it, like in a split second. You just like, fuck it, let's do this, you know. And it just went like that, right? Yeah. Obviously, he was a bit upset.
Are you all right with him now?
Yeah, he's cool. Well, I'm cool. Like, I think he's cool. He's
Find
blessed,
out next
man.
time he gets under your heel, yeah?
No, I think he's good, man. He's good.
I feel like with this opportunity for you, mate, because it's obviously a great opportunity, but it almost feels like a little bit of like a poison chalice when it comes to friendships because
exactly.
You're gonna have to make some tough decisions.
This is the whole thing, right? That's why I didn't want to like. I don't know, man. I just didn't want to give like the opportunities to like them. Like, I just kind of wanted, like, I feel like as well, going back on like the guys like that they didn't want to do it and stuff like that. It's like, would they have done that with another coach? Do you know what I'm saying? If it was just a random guy and he said, look, you got to do it or you're not getting on the team. Whereas if it was me, they feel like they could have kind of just swayed it in that sense.
So because you could have easily just went, I'm having Los Banditos pretty much.
Yeah. Why did you go for a trials?
Content, like, you know, make some entertainment, make an arc around the European team, get people to follow us, get people to know some of the characters, you know, like for me, it's like, if I can have some sort of proof of concept, show people, hey, this is what we did, right? This is how successful it was. Here's the numbers of what we got through all the interactions on social media, YouTube. Then it builds up opportunity to get sponsorships. Right, and you know it's like pretty hard to get sponsorships. If I don't have any proof, hey, I got these guys. They do jiu-jitsu. You want to sponsor them? Perhaps give them a couple grand. Nah. Well, what's your proof? Where's the where's the engagement, stuff like that. So I feel like this was a good way to get interactions and kind of give something to push towards the people to be like, hey, do you want to sponsor the team? And the money that will go towards the team will, one, help the athletes, and 2, go towards building content and an arc around CJI, like a documentary kind of series, similar to like a road to like a UFC kind of embedded road to worlds, road to CJI kind of themed event where we show people's personalities. Because, you know, I did I did vlogs, right? You know, and I showed like people like my competitions and stuff. But I think what people enjoy more is watching how we interact with one another. Like, people, cool, the jiu-jitsu is nice, but I don't want to watch, me personally, I don't want to watch a whole video on people rolling. I don't really care. Like, I'll just watch matches for that. I want to see how people are outside of jiu-jitsu, what they like to do on their day-to-day, like how they are with people, kind of the fun stuff.
The vibe as well, isn't it? In the gym. The vibe in the gym.
The vibe, but it's like just outside. Like, say we just do something crazy, like we just go shoot guns or something. Like, do you know what I mean? Or ride horses in the Yellowstone. Do you know, you know, stuff like that. Like, people are gonna like want to like, oh man, these guys are cool as hell. Like, they're fun to be around. Like, people like Craig Jones, not because he's good at jiu-jitsu, but because he's a character and he's got a personality and he's funny and he shows all these things that he does outside of jiu-jitsu, right? Just jiu-jitsu is another element on top of him that he builds on, right? So that's kind of what I wanted to do. The whole reason we did the trials is for the content, the proof of concept, get sponsorships, get the guys paid, right? So they don't have to work while training, so they can just solely focus on the event and training and not having to work to make money.
Yeah, smart, man. And obviously when that, circling all the way back to the beginning when we asked you about when that offer came in, but were you ever tempted to not take on that stress and that hassle of being a coach and just look to compete in the event yourself?
Me personally, obviously, like, I don't think I am the best fit for CJI in the sense of being on that team, because like I'm not like a super, like I would put like one of the other, I would put like, you know, Owen over me, for example. Like, do you know what I mean? I wouldn't see it fit for me to be on a team just because like I would fight for my spot if the opportunity arose and someone said, look, do you want to fight for your spot? And the tournament like similar, I would 100% go for that, regardless who's against me on the mat. But in terms of like me being a part of the team, like I don't think like I'm a sniper, right? I'm probably more of like sometimes I'm hard to submit, but then also sometimes I get submitted. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm not like a Charles where I'm indestructible and not getting submitted. Like sometimes I get submitted against like good guys, right? So I personally wouldn't put myself on a team, like being brutally honest. Do you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't. I would fight for my spot on a team for sure, but yeah, I don't think I would be the best suit for the team. Okay. I think I suit more like a points kind of fighting style, like an ADCC rule set or like a IBJJF rule set. I can like, you know, take a guy down, put him down, and just ride out the wind, man, into the sunset.
Nice. All right. So coaching was a better way to get banked then, yeah?
Yeah.
Better way to get paid.
Yeah. You know, part-time athlete, full-time coach.
Just like that.
Yeah.
All right, man, cool. So we've obviously got the team pretty much locked in with a slight question mark over plus 99. And looking at the rest of the event now, we obviously had Daisy Fresh announce their team. Still waiting on Atos, but we can probably guess what that might look like. And then the Americas team, which remains to be seen. But thinking about the tournament itself and obviously with your group of guys, like who do you want to maybe run into first and who might present the biggest challenge, do you think?
So obviously the biggest challenge probably would be Atos, I'd say. Atos has, I would say Atos will probably have the strongest team on paper. Them or New Wave.
Yeah.
You know, B team's also very good, right? I think those are the three standout teams, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so.
So obviously just keep those away from us in the first round, please. Especially Atos, right? Yeah, those guys are good, right? Because they have so much depth.
But I think B team getting Victor Hugo in, mate. It's just fucking like...
Joke,
and having Nicky at under 99.
Yeah, that was cheeky, mate. That was cheeky.
He's massive, mate.
When
we was out there training, he like walked in and I was like, mate, he is huge. Like, really? He's like shovel hand.
Yeah, and even next to Nicky, man.
Next to Nicky, look, you know what I mean? Nicky's a beast, and he was like making Nicky look small.
Yeah, you shake hand, it's like it's a big claw just up your arm, man. He's a big boy.
What is he, like Puerto Rican or something? He's probably Nigerian, bro, somewhere. Like 3% Nigerian on the DNA test.
The ancestry.
But yeah, he's a big boy, man.
I think who would we want as the first team to go against? Mate, I'd love the Americans. Give us the Yanks, man.
Who are you expecting in that team if you were a betting man?
America could have had a freaking phenomenal team, mate. They could have had the Tackets. They could have had, they could have great guys. Mason Fowler, I think. Well, all these guys are like...
Yeah, we said that in the last podcast, Brandon. I was like, how has no one snapped a Mason?
Yeah, I think they've been poached up by the UFC. Thank God, man. Thank you, UFC. So they got like the B team of the Americans. We got the B team of the Europeans. Let's just go for it, right? Yeah, I think the American team. I think America, or like I fancy our chances against Daisy Fresh for sure. So any Americans, just give us an American team, right? Other than even B team, give us B team, right? But I think just obviously conflict of the friendships. I think Team American would be a nice one. And just any of Americans, man.
Should do like a little coaches scrap afterwards.
No, man, I can't.
Overtime.
Bro,
you gotta fuck Greg up, yeah. Mate, he'd kill your ass, mate. He'd kill your ass,
I'll send Greg out there because I'll drink out of Al, mate. Forget me. Yeah, I don't want no business doing a coach off because, Andre would just smoke us all probably.
Imagine that.
Me and Dad are watching the sidelines. But I think any American team would be good, like the North America team or Daisy Fresh or even 10 Planet. Those are the kind of guys that I would like to look up and go against.
Yeah, it'd be cool, man. And I was asking for clarity earlier because I wasn't clear, but I think people understand, obviously, with the quintet rule, so it's kind of any weight against any weight. Yeah. And if it's a sub, obviously the guy stays in and the loser goes out. But if it's no subs, both guys go out, right?
Yes.
And the actual teams themselves, it's not like a round robin where the teams will face multiple teams despite winning or losing. It's literally a knockout tournament. So if the team overall loses, they're done and
they're out. Yeah. So I don't know what happens. I might be mistaken, right? But I think if everyone draws, I think they go into like some sort of rounds or like they do one more fight and then basically it'll be like a 10, like a scoring system round. Then whoever wins that, the team will go through.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if it's like an overall team score or if it's just like a one-time thing.
Yeah, that shouldn't happen though, should it?
Maybe not, but it could, right? It's possible. 8 minutes is not that long, right?
Because remember, it's just people not getting subbed. Yeah. What's your thoughts in regard to tactics? I know you don't want to give too much away, but thinking about, you joked earlier, maybe you didn't joke, but put Owen out against the big dude. But you like, what, do you know at this point? Like, will you know in advance who they're putting out?
No, I think the first round we just send out whoever we're going to send out.
So you're blind completely to it.
You don't know. It's not like, send out your biggest guy first.
No, I wouldn't necessarily do that either.
No, but I mean, did they say like it'd be helpful if they were like, right, we're going to send out first fight. Everyone's got to send out their 8-8 fighter just to start.
No.
But they don't say that. No.
They just won't say anything. So you'll just pick someone, and I'll pick someone.
Okay.
And I'll just look at you in the eyes. And I'll be like, yeah, go on, pull him out. Bring out Nicky Rod. So I don't know. Like,
mate,
it'll just be.
Send out Joseph Channon, just sub everyone.
Joseph, bro. We're hitting him in the freaking hotel lobby, bro. Like, little Asian, bro. He's a wizard. So yeah, he'll be good in the competition, I'm sure.
Yeah, I feel like the obvious approach, if you're blind to your opponent in every...
It all depends on the team, I think, right? Like who they would send out.
Like, you got some guys who are smaller, good against bigger guys.
Well, like, look at this. Like, for example, if I'm like Danaher, right? And, you got Dorian Oliveras, who can like wrestle with anyone. Like, why would you not send him out first? You're a smaller guy who okay, most likely he's not going to get submitted, right? And he's going to be able to stand up with the guys. The only way he's probably going to get tapped is on the legs. Right? Why wouldn't you not send him out? It makes more sense because even if they bring out a big guy, he can out wrestle the big guy. Yeah. So it's like, it's all dependent on the teams, right? And you just got to read the teams and think, okay, who are they going to send out? Are they going to send out their top guy first, like to get the kills as quick as possible? Or are they going to send out kind of a guy where maybe he's just there to be the fodder to like survive
Try
and
and stall someone out.
stall someone out. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe it's like, you know, like that's what I would do because obviously Luke's their best guy. Let's just give New Wave an example, right? Luke's their best guy on paper, but why would you send Luke out first where he could go up against maybe, and they could send out a Nicky Rod blind. Like you don't know who they're sending out.
Well, like Negromonte, where he's just never getting tapped.
Yeah, yeah.
They're
Do
both
you know
out.
what I mean? And then it's just like, yeah, you'd put the Dorian out, hoping that Dorian takes out one of their top guys like Victor or Nicky, and then you have Luke there who can just dismantle the weaker links in the team. Right? So it's kind of like, it just depends on the team. Like I kind of...
It's going to be so good,
I'll play it by ear. Like I have obviously the ideas of going for each team to team. And yeah, we'll see basically.
Yeah.
Based on what happens.
And then when you obviously have the kind of, I don't know how long it's going to be after each match to then send somebody out. Again, I guess there's not going to be any visibility even at that point. So if it is a draw, I guess the second match,
then you just go again, yeah,
blind again.
But then it's like if you win,
yeah,
your guy stays in the middle.
Yeah.
All right, now they have to be there another 8 minutes. So this is another factor of when picking guys, right? Like I can't have someone, like everyone has to have their conditioning on point, because you gotta be basically able to go full balls to the wall, 8 minutes, right? But then you also, if you could tap the guy out, you have to have that recovery to where you can recover and then go for another 8 minutes to at least not get tapped, right? Because it's all good tapping someone, but then if you're dead tired and then you get tapped, it's like it's all for nothing. Do you know what I mean? It's like you want someone who can tap and then not get tapped, or has the cardio to not get tapped. So this is another factor of why, you know, when we pick in the team, this is another factor of what I was thinking of, right? Because, you know, some people might not have the best cardio. So, you know, on the team, like, that's another requirement.
Yeah.
I'm getting the guys to do, like, I'm going to get them to, I got a guy, like, one of the boys' gyms at Los Bandidos. His dad owns, like, it's called Burn, B-R-N, right? So I did a session with him the other day, right, you know, to try it out. I'm going to get some of the boys to go over to him to do, like, he does, like, the conditioning stuff, like, you know, running on the sprint on the treadmill, ski urge, airdyne bike, you know, power output stuff, pushing the sled, you know, that kind of stuff that will build your conditioning and help you recover quicker as well. So I think this will help the athletes.
Yeah, nice. And then if one of the guys loses from subs, so they're out, but one of their guys is in, how long do you then have to make a decision about who's going to go out and face that person?
Probably like a minute. Straight away, probably. Like as soon as they get tabbed, you're going to be like, shit. Like,
yeah, okay.
Next person out.
Yeah. Okay, let's get Owen Jones against Kaina Duarte. Send him out there to die.
Like, I would cry. I would literally cry if you looked. It was like Owen Jones.
But like, think of this, right? Like, just picture it. Another situation. Close your eyes. Let's just say we put him out there and he snipes Kaina, blasts him with an IoT.
But you know what? He could do it. He could. If he gets all to your legs, mate.
It can happen, right? Nothing's impossible, right?
If he gets into his legs, mate.
It's not likely.
No.
But it's not impossible.
No, it's not.
Right?
No.
But let's just say that happens, right? Overnight Celebrity by Kanye West. That's it. Like, you know, he's there, bro. Like, you know, that's it. That's what, as much as it's about winning the tournament, it's also about making moments. If you have big moments like that at CJI, the show just becomes a whole different thing.
It's Lucas Canard, didn't it, last one?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No one gave him a fucking chance, did they?
Yeah.
Went in there,
Well, nobody had even heard of him.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean, not outside
he's
of...
good, man.
Not outside of Australia. Yeah, he's
been
class,
like a
isn't he?
brown belt
Yeah.
forever for some reason. I don't know. Someone needs to promote him or
Yeah,
something.
we're chatting to him next week, actually, so we'll get to the bottom of it and find out what's going on. Yeah, he's
He
sandbagging,
was
mate.
talking smack about the Euro trials.
Oh, yeah.
Was he?
Yeah.
What do you want us to say?
Nothing much, man. Just go get that house with all those kids in it, man. That's all he wants in it. Like, all right, mate. Like, yeah. I would say this, just don't pull guard, man. Just wrestle for 2 minutes. I would love to see that. That'd be fun. Like, come on, like, just like, you know, I'll put like another guy. Let's see if he wrestles with them. He's just, well, obviously, he just defeats the object of what he's trying to do. Play the mind games with him.
Yeah. But it's, I don't know, it's going to be a mad one because there's so many like potential really good matches that you might see, but also that you won't as well.
You can play it safe, or you can just freaking risk it all for the biscuit.
Yeah.
It just depends on what kind of guy you are.
Yeah, I don't sense that the tism's massively strong in you. You seem like quite a normal guy, but are you the sort of dude?
Man. Thank you.
You're welcome. I might be wrong. Who knows?
Massively strong. Like, do you know what I mean? Don't give it that way.
But I know like some of the coaches, I imagine like Greg, for example, he's going to be like writing up every single scenario, who's going to send out if this person wins, if this person wins. You're going to be doing that sort of level of planning, or are you just going to go for the vibes on the day?
Just going to be like, you go. Like,
who fancies it, boys?
Yeah, exactly.
Look around the room, see where the eye contact
I
is.
just close the eyes and be like, duck goose in it, mate. Greg, man, with his pen and paper, man. Eco play, man. Flipping hell. I don't know. We'll see, man.
Yeah.
I think one of his requirements is actually like for all the team members to paint their nails, from what I heard.
Any particular shade?
I guess pink or something. He loves that color.
Yeah, that upsets Nicky Rod, to be fair. That could be a really good distraction
He
ploy.
did. Nicky Rod painted his skin, right?
Yeah. Wearing his bright
Shame on you,
shorts.
man. He painted his skin as well. Oh, you
Yeah, me too. But mate, I can imagine, Nicky Rod going out and just seeing a dude wearing pink nail varnish and just stopping and just being like,
But that's a tactic, though, isn't it?
That's it.
Straight away, just the whole team's got to get like a little pedicure. Like,
Maybe we might do that to throw him off.
that's it. We know Levi's going to be hitting it up as well, so
Oh, he loves a bit of nail varnish, innit?
yeah. But I know a genuine requirement for Greg is that obviously the guys go down there and like train with them and do some of that stuff. What's your plans with like a camp? Are you going to get the guys together?
Yeah, I think we're going to try and get him out in the States, and we got some pit walls out there. I think the plan is to go to Atlanta, I believe. We got someone that's going to pay for the Airbnb and hopefully the flights and all those good
nice.
stuff. And then go there 3 weeks, train on the pits, and yeah, just take the guys out of their routine, I think, is the biggest thing, right?
Yeah, no, that makes sense, mate. And I was wondering if, like, do you think it's like an advantage or a disadvantage that you don't have like an actual team, as in they're already training together, that you're bringing guys in from different places? Because you obviously get different looks. So there's an advantage that you've maybe got that sharing of knowledge, but you don't have that team cohesion. But equally, I think other than G'ing each other up backstage because of the way the event is, I don't know whether that's an advantage or not. What do you think?
Like just not having like a solid core team, like an Atos or a B team.
Yeah. So like a group of guys that have trained together for years, that are genuine like mates on and off the mats and stuff.
Yeah, it's just I don't think you need that, man. I don't think it's gonna make much of a difference. Most of the guys aren't probably coachable anyway. They haven't, like most jiu-jitsu guys, we don't have a coach. Like I never had a coach essentially, you know, when I was coming up. Like I had teachers, but no one was there. Like I didn't have like a Guy Mendes or a Danaher telling me, yo, and just planning my day and being like, yo, you need to do this, sit down, watch this. Like, you know, no one's structuring all my things.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so most of the people within our team and just in jiu-jitsu in general is that they've never had a coach. So I'm not going to go around telling them what they should do and what's best. All right, obviously I can just kind of, you know, guide them into what I feel like would be best. Like doing the little stuff like, hey, do this conditioning work at least 2 times a week. Do some strength and conditioning 2 times a week. You know, maybe focus on this because we're going to get you to do this. You know, but they know their game more than anyone. So I'm not going to tell them how to do their game. You know, I'm just going to let them do them and hope for the best. With, you know, they know themselves. I don't have to tell them what to do. Yeah.
Nice, man. I'm thinking a little bit better about it now. I think when we first saw the team, because we didn't know some of the other guys as well, we were a bit like, oh. And because, like we said, we were expecting, you know, basically the team Los Bandidos in there.
That didn't come to fruition.
Nah, man.
Right? I don't think they wanted that. I think we pitched it to them, but
Yeah.
it would have been cool, right? I could have probably just done it. You know, if I really wanted to, I could have been like, yeah, F it. Let's do Team Los Banditos. And then just put like Owen, Taylor, Flanagan, Charles, and some big guy.
Yeah, wild card.
A wild, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know who would have been a good wild card for the plus though. Honestly,
Stick Pat Downey in there.
I don't know, man. Did he get leg locked recently?
Yeah, that's true.
And he's like, leg locks work.
But he's that dude. You just go out and just go out and wrestle. Just go out and wrestle and just
but it's just like, you know, if he goes up against like someone who's just a bit techie, right, with the legs, he can be cool, right?
Yeah,
so
for
it's
sure.
like it's all dependent because he could go up against, like, it'd be good to see him go up against like a good wrestler or someone to nullify them. But like his wrestling is obviously phenomenal, it's world class, right? But then it's like the jiu-jitsu side of things is like, that's just the question mark above the head.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying he's probably bad, he might be good. I just don't know too much about him.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So he could be good.
Yeah, fair.
If he just starts hitting saddle entries, bro, the game's gone, man. Like, gotta go to ping pong.
But mate, from a content perspective though, mate, like you definitely get some views with him. But yeah, I get your point. And then from a fan's perspective, thinking about all of the athletes in that show, you know, are there any kind of like dream matchups that you'd like to see?
Just in general?
Yeah. So forget your associations. Just if you were spectating, thinking about all the different people in there, who would you want to see go at it?
Man, that's a good question. I don't know, you know, to be honest.
And it could be like a ridiculous match just for bounce.
I think I would like to see like Joe Chen versus like a Kainen or someone like that.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he could do well. Do you know what I mean? I think he could shock people.
Everyone we speak to thinks that Joe is just going to smash this time. Like everyone, isn't it? Everyone we speak to, it's like
I say it every time he's in a tournament though, so it's only a matter of time.
He's only 20, isn't he? So it's like he's gonna do it at some point, surely.
Yeah, he can do big things, right? He's already doing big things, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he's killing it. But I think that would be a cool matchup, right? That'd be a good one. Or him versus like, I don't know, like let's say like him maybe versus like a Felipe Pena. Do you know what I mean? Some crazy matchup.
Felipe, didn't he lost to Rotolo, didn't he, at ADCC? So the smaller guys could maybe get their way.
Yeah. Or what's another one that I'd like to see? I want to see maybe PJ against one of the good, like a Dorian or someone.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah.
That would be fire, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Dorian's so good though, mate.
Yeah. But that would be a cool match. Like, do you know what I mean? Stylistically, because like PJ's a phenomenal wrestler and, you know, Dorian's like a little scrappy kid wrestling, you know. Obviously, PJ's got the experience and he's obviously got the weight as well. So it'd be interesting to see how that would play out, you know. So yeah, there's a couple good matches that can happen.
Yeah, it's definitely a few.
Yeah, I need the list in front of me. Now I can match
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, awesome, mate. I think I'm out of questions, mate, so we can bring this one home unless you've got anything else you want to cover.
Do you think Gordon's going to come?
I think so, yeah, why not?
Do you reckon he'll come and watch?
Yeah, he probably loves Vegas, right? You don't think so?
Mate, I'd love like a little like wrestling fireworks going off. Da, 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 Gordon walking out.
Yeah, they need to do that stuff, man. That's what will make it so
surprise me,
good.
though, would be funny.
But I don't
if,
think
like,
Gordon would want to do it because he doesn't want to give any sort of like engagement to Craig, right?
That's it. And I never know if like, I've not met Craig, so I don't know like what the real Craig, how far removed that is from the social media Craig.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Craig would genuinely make a song and dance about Gordon being there, and Gordon would hate it.
For sure.
Do you think he would?
Well, like not to him like there at the time, but probably he would like do stuff content-wise after it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I just don't think Gordon would give him the opportunity to do that. So I don't think he'll go.
I don't think it makes sense.
I don't think he's definitely not going to go now after, hasn't Toho sponsored the event?
Are they?
Is that actually happening now?
I think so. Yeah, I read the other day.
They don't pay any pay-per-view anyway, though, do they? So
well, it's Gordon says that.
I know how much are their sandals? They're like $1,000 or something.
Is it?
Have you not seen all that stuff? You've seen Gordon do all the posts?
Yeah. I saw. Yeah,
their whole marketing scheme is just getting half-naked women, bro.
Yeah,
that has nothing to do with sandals,
do you know what?
bro.
That used to get me fucking in trouble because like I'd be like looking at Gordon's shit and then it'd be a bird with like big tits. And I was like, what are you looking at? Like legitimately jiu-jitsu. Like it's Gordon Ryan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, man. Cut the tape.
But yeah, you know,
it's a sandal company. I swear,
babe. Look. Panicking.
Start going through it. Then it's Hellas.
I had to unfollow Gordon for a while, mate.
And he lands on your fucking trials and the show goes, mate, and these double fights.
Yeah, frick. People love it, man. People love it. I don't know. I just thought it would have been cool. Just for a little spectacle, but
mate, it was funny. Mate, it was really funny. Like when I watched it, I was laying there and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like,
it was jokes because when the guys were coming out, they probably distracted the girls like with the fans and stuff. There was a girl. She had like the Bulls jersey,
right? Okay,
on like kind of like like kind of the.
I thought you said the Bulls. I was like, what sort of
the
like
Bulls,
show
like
goes
the
did
Chicago
you get?
Bulls, brother.
Okay,
stay on track, man. Like,
they're not those types of girls.
She had the Chicago Bulls jersey, right? You like, but like like kind of like a sexy kind of outfit one. And yeah, it was like played into the fact of the whole B Team Bulls thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was cool as well. I think it was good. I had fun with that. So yeah, Craig didn't want a part of it, but that was all me.
Did he literally say no? He's not.
No, he just didn't want to be like associated to it. Do you know what I mean? Fair enough. Like, he's going through some heat, right? He doesn't want to get put under the. I think he's fine. Like, he didn't do anything, but you think about it, right?
It's his and Seth's gym.
Yeah, obviously he's got such a big profile. If people start putting it on him, it's gonna jeopardize his image, right? So like,
it's the double standards, isn't it?
To risk, but I have no image, so I can just risk everything.
Now that is your image, mate.
Yes, I'm the Hugh Hefner of Jiu-Jitsu.
Right, yeah, that was class.
Mate, do you want to shout out any sponsors or give the audience a final message or anything before we wrap up?
Yes, let's give a shout out to my sponsor, Fight Aesthetic, right? Because obviously they've been supporting me since Blue Belt. Yeah, so shout out to them. Shout out to my gym that I train at, Los Banditos. And yeah, man, well, I think we've got some big things coming for this year. So follow me at Being Faris and stay tuned for all the stuff that I'm going to get involved in the next year. Competition circuit as well. I'm still competing, right? So I'll be going back to compete. Probably my biggest thing that I'm trying to go towards is the trials. So like, as much as the guys will train for CJI, I'll probably join the camp and prepare for the ADCC trials with those guys in the build-up of CJI. So
ADCC is the dream, mate, is it?
Yeah, I think that's that's what changes your life, right? I feel like, I don't know as well, because I was saying to you as well on the car, like I feel like you have to have a bit of a niche, and my niche is I'm just a dog. Like I just don't give up. I just try and die for the legs and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't have like that kind of beautiful jiu-jitsu, so I'm trying to work towards that. But yeah, I think I need to add the techers with the dog, so I can have a little bit of something to sell by,
Yeah, how old are you now?
I'm 29.
Okay, still time, mate. Still plenty of time. Yeah.
He's like, you're used to hearing 20 years old.
I know, mate. I was like, he's a bit old actually, isn't he? 29.
That's what's going on, man.
Over to you.
Yeah, man. Well, best of luck with competing, mate, and look forward to the future content and obviously seeing you at the event. Thanks for coming on, buddy.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, it's been great, man. Appreciate you guys.